Welcome everyone we're so glad you're here. We are going to be sharing here for about a half hour, 45 minutes in that ballpark. We're going to share about PartnerCo, why we're so excited about this. And first off, my name is Russell Petrie, and my co-host is
Cindy Greenwood. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta.
and I'm
And
from
most of the people here are watching a hockey game right now.
exactly hockey season, hockey playoffs, pretty fun.
Playoff season, yeah.
So they're still coming in. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we're PartnerCo. So we're going to talk a little bit about our company a little bit, and then we're going to dive in a little bit of quality, and then we're going to dive into a great testimonial. We have a special guest, and then we're going to go in. We're just going to carry on with a little bit of our products and stuff like that. So sit back, relax, get a pen, get a paper, and be prepared to make some notes because we might ask you a question or two, and you might have to write down something. Right? You can ask the person who gave you this. So we are PartnerCo. So we are all over the world, and we basically focus on a few areas. We have focus on our wellness, which is mostly what tonight's call is going to be about, wellness. But we also have a business attached to this, and then we also have a very fun lifestyle, which a lot of people love as well. So kind of all three things we feel are important, right, Cindy? If you only have two of the three, it doesn't matter what combination, eh, Cindy? If you only have two of the three, it's kind of really. So
Yeah,
so we
you definitely
focus
want
on
to
all
bring in
three.
that fun. You want to bring in that fun and you want to be able to enjoy it and be healthy enough to enjoy it and do the things you want to do.
Exactly.
So we have a mission at PartnerCo to power health and prosperity around the world. And we're building partnerships, inspiring wellness, creating wealth, finding adventure, and we have an amazing, uplifting community. I've never seen anything like it. Everybody gets along so well and works together, and we're all working towards that same mission, is to help everyone with health and prosperity. We have a few things that make us unique, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Our product approach is one of them. So you can see these 5 areas that make up our product approach. And we're going to go through each one of those, not too long, but just to give you a little bit of an idea of what we mean about it. So science and nature collaboration. Nature really brings the best ways to nourish our bodies. So we take the science and we take the nature and we combine them and make products that work, that are so well backed by science and are simple. They're often, most of them are made just from different food, herbs, that sort of thing from nature, but we're making sure that it's the best of the best. And so when you put those two together, you can make some amazing things happen. And Russell, you're usually on the farm there. Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah. Well, and all of this starts from the ground up, right? It starts. You have to look at the roots. You have to look at the soil, and everything. And they truly look everywhere, all around the world, and we have ingredients that come from all corners of the globe, from of many countries that we use then to create our products. So it's just very important. Even harvesting, we're involved in making sure that things are done, at the right time of the year, right there, right to be the most efficacious.
That's right. And we make sure that we can trace everything back to where it was grown and all of that. And we have a lot of testing that goes on around the raw ingredients and that sort of thing. And we do all that to bring some precision nutrition to us. Uh, we take health personally and we want to optimize everybody's well-being by making sure that what's in our products is at the levels we say they're at and is meant for you, is meant for your body to thrive and get the nutrients that it needs. And I know we like to say, okay, put in the comments how many of these that you are interested in or you need help with, that sort of thing. I know a lot of us, gut health is a big issue. Hormone support is an issue. We're all aging whether we want to or not. So healthy aging is a big one. Weight management, sleep, skincare, all of these areas are big hot pockets of interest right now and people wanting to get healthier. I can't see the chat, so I don't know if anybody did or not. It looks like Nancy did. Guaranteed, tested, and proven. This is the last one that was on those 5 points. And this is, I think, one of the most important ones. You can see in the bottom, we have our stamp of approval for PartnerCo. And what that means is that we do our own internal multi-step process to check from raw ingredient right to finished product. But then we go an extra step further, and this makes us unique because not a lot of companies do this, but we will actually then send that to a third party to check to make sure that they're checking that what we put on the label is what's actually in there at the right amounts, the amounts we say, and that it is good quality. So we have several different third-party certifications, and we take this very seriously. We will, if something doesn't pass, it will be sent back, and that is our standards that we stick to. So you can see along the bottom here, we've got several third-party certifications. Leaping Bunny is one that most people know because that's no animal testing. The clone list is another one that you may not know about, but that's one where our Olympic athletes can take our products without fear of, something coming up on a drug test if they're drug tested. They know that they can take it and that it's good for them, and it's nothing's gonna show up. So we do have lots of Olympians and professional athletes, bodybuilders, that sort of thing, that take our products because of that, and we have that certification. I don't know, Russell, do you have a favorite one on here?
I kind of like that, the physician desk reference. That's more of a US thing, I believe, but we have in the US, the doctors and people who prescribe medication and stuff, they can look in this book, this reference guide. It's online now. It used to be a book, but we have 6 products in that book, in that reference. And so, again, that's another thing that makes us different. And it's because we are so, you know, making sure our quality is staying like top game all the time, right? So, and it's so just amazing that other companies don't have that. So,
That's right.
here's some of the people, and we're adding to this list. We just hired someone named Joshua Plant, a doctor. So we're adding to this list. But right now, our chief medical officer Ray Strand and everyone you see here is involved in making sure, because none of us are doctors. When we share, well, we do actually have a few doctors and nurses that are on our teams, but I'm not. So when I share, I need to have this backing, this trust. And I've met Dr. Ray Strand several times. Cindy, you've met Dr. Strand. I think
Yep.
many people here have met him. So we trust, and Barbara again. So we trust all of these people. We hear what they do. And again, we have a wellness council as well. You mentioned athletes, and ex pro athletes, hockey players, football, rugby, Olympians. So ballerinas, I've heard. So all sorts, right? And they're top world class athletes, and they want to stay thriving as they get older, right? And so yeah, this is what really makes us different.
That's right. So we're going to get into some of our products now. This is our flagship product. Right now, you may have seen somebody who invited you. Maybe they did a post on it, and you might have saw some before and afters. And we have literally thousands of these before and afters now. And those are just the ones that people share with us, right? Like there's a lot of people that still don't want to share with us, which is fine. That's up to them. But seeing those pictures are just it's so inspiring to know that anybody can take these, follow the system, and get some results. So here, our drops support weight management. They help control appetite and cravings. They boost metabolism. They are really balancing the body so that it works the way it's supposed to. Because as we age, many of us have experienced that our body just doesn't quite work the same way. We have, over the years, exercised or dieted or whatever and been able to lose weight or get healthier. And now all of a sudden, those things that we used to do don't work anymore. So it's all genders, all ages, all races. Everybody has a time in their life where they want to get a bit healthier. So you can see here, there's lots of before and afters of people that have done just that. They've used our system and they've gotten those results. And I put my picture in this time because I just updated it. So, but this is me before and after. And for me, even just the the size difference is one thing, but I look at my face in these pictures and just see how tired and frustrated and sick and unhappy I was to now being able to do all the things that I love again. And that's really what my goal was, is I wanted to be healthy and strong and just be able to hike mountains when I'm 80 years old and blow past all the 40-year-olds or whatever it is, right? So that was my why I wanted to start this. And it didn't happen overnight. I didn't get there overnight and it didn't happen overnight. But this was in total about 8 months to get 85 pounds down. So that to me was great. And I've been able to keep it off and continuing on with my journey. So that's my story. I've got a couple other pictures here. That's my Reader's Digest story. There's more to it, but um, here's our friends Christine and Caroline, and they are Alberta girls here as well. And Christine did it for a while, and then her sister watched and watched and watched, and then finally she jumped in as well, and they were able to get some great results. This is our friend Nicole. She is from St. Paul, Alberta, and she didn't even start taking the drops to lose weight. She just wanted some balancing and hoping that it was going to help with some other issues, and she ended up losing, I think she's down 40 pounds now. This was our guest last week. If you haven't watched that one, you can go on my YouTube channel. I'll put it in the chat here later, but and listen to their story. You can see their before and after, not just their physical before and after, but their medical before and after. They're able to reduce the meds that they were on. And then our friend Brenda, she used this pack that you see on the bottom. Sorry, my dog is like whining at me to get a milk bone. She used this pack on the bottom here, and we now fondly refer to it as the Brenda pack. But she started, and she was very same as me in that first picture, sick and tired and frustrated, and didn't know where to turn because she tried everything. And so she tried this, hoping that in 6 months she could maybe lose 30 pounds. I believe it was to go to a wedding. And, she was able to she was very diligent on the program, and she was able to drop 100 pounds in 6.5 months. Now, not everybody has that same result, but everybody does feel better and really gets a better result or a better quality of life as they go through this process. And you can see the pack on the bottom. Our products are all meant to work together or separately, so you can add and customize as much as you want. We have this new one, right, Russell? It's kind of the newest one we have.
Yes. Yeah. One thing that makes us different is we have our own lab now. And this is the very first product that we've actually created. So some of those faces that you saw on the previous slides have helped, make this. So just a product with a very, very cool ingredient from Africa called grains of paradise. Uh, it helps basically. We have two types of fat. If you weren't sure, we have our baby fat, which is our kind of our brown fat, and then we have a white fat, which is kind of made up of all the kind of junkier stuff that we start to introduce to our bodies. And anyways, long story short, we can deep dive, ask us for information later if you want to. This is where you can write something down if you want to. But basically, this helps your brown fat activate and start to basically eat the white fat, and even encourages the white fat to start acting like brown fat, which is very cool. So, and again, it's all those key areas that most people struggle with getting rid of that, even if they're doing everything right. Like that's the frustrating part, right? So, and again, we have a guest from a couple weeks ago, and she was a fitness person, for a couple decades, and this grains of paradise was something that was never talked about back then. So it's pretty cool that we really do look hard, far and wide for ingredients and food and different things that, because I believe everything is from the earth will help us, to get better. We don't have to depend on pharmaceuticals. We have another one from our lab. This product came to us already, and we tweaked it a bit. We do a lot of tinkering. We'll take some products and we'll take some stuff we don't quite like and we'll add some better stuff, right? So we do that all the time, even with our products that are like totally like we love, and but science and tells us that it's something better that we can do. So we will upgrade that product as well. So we do that all the time. All our products that usually most of our products are version 2.0, maybe even 3.0. So we never stand just on something and just we only have a couple products. Actually, Noni is one that hasn't changed, but this one is great because it helps you. You'll have this before you eat. It has a great fiber in it. You feel fuller. You don't tend to eat as much. If you're going to eat something like a carb or like a pasta, then it'll help you block some sugars. It'll help you block if you're going to have some sweets. It'll help you block some of it from being converted from your carb to your sugars. So it's a very good support 1-2 punch kind of thing with it. Goes with the drops, Batman and Robin kind of thing, and so it's pretty cool that way. So you can ask for if this is something. This is a powder. You mix it with water. So make a note of it if you're interested.
Mhm.
Ask the person to get more information to you.
And often we don't get enough fiber in our diet anyway, so it's a great product if you need that extra fiber. And if you take this one, the one that we had before, which are Ab Vantage, that helps with the brown fat and the white fat, and the drops, you have, oh my goodness, I had it just in my head. I was going to say a triple play, but a hat trick. It's hockey night, right? It's a hat
Hat
trick.
trick. There you go. Yeah,
Russell can throw his hat in the ring there.
yeah. Yeah, no, we will, because that will be a hat trick for you if you're doing that. So
That's right. And we have Renew is definitely a 2.0. The first version we had was great, but it didn't taste that great. A lot of us didn't love it, but now we have this amazing kiwi berry flavor that everybody just loves. And this is a great product that really helps your body create and stimulate more human growth hormone, which is HGH, more production of that. Because as we age, this is what happens, right? We're at the most when we're around, 25 to 30. And that's when most of us have been feeling pretty good. We can kind of do everything. We can stay up all night. We can do whatever we want and not have any really negative side effects. But as we age, it kind of goes down, right? And you can see where you can plot your age and see where you're at. And, your lifestyle does play into how fast it declines. If you're fairly healthy, it won't decline as fast. If you're not healthy, it'll decline faster. But you can see that signs of low HGH are here. And so what this product does is it helps you get more in your body and kind of starts replenishing you back up to where you were when you were younger. And you can see here you get a deeper, more restorative sleep. And that's what most people find in the first week or so of taking it, is that suddenly, even if they slept good before, they're sleeping deeper, they're having dreams, they're feeling more rested in the morning. So that's a huge win just overall. But then it does all these other things that you can see on the screen here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it is definitely a powerhouse to add to your health routine. And these are our powders. So we have our plant-based protein powder, which has your vitamins, your minerals, your prebiotics, probiotics. It's a full meal replacement, and it's a pea protein, so it's really great for the body. It's easy to digest. And then we have some adders that we can put in. We have our Beauty Boost, which helps with hair, skin, and nails. Our Power Boost, and the Beauty Boost is like an orange flavor. The Power Boost is like a chocolate. We do make some healthy treats and stuff with that chocolate sometimes. It's great. And we have our Giving Greens, which is our veggie drink. 2 little scoops give you 2.5 pounds of vegetables. And I don't know if anybody's ever tried to eat 2.5 pounds of vegetables, but I certainly don't want to do that every day. So that is how I get my vegetables. But we have a great story from Nancy, and I'm gonna show the pictures, and then I'm gonna bring Nancy up and she's gonna tell the story. All right. Sorry, I'm just gonna pin you. Russell, can you see both Nancy and the picture?
Just Nancy, just the pictures right now.
Okay,
That's okay.
I'll stop sharing. There we go. Okay, Nancy, go ahead.
Okay, you know what? I haven't talked about the story for a while, and as I remembered, I was telling everybody you start to feel the feel of when you're not well and how hard that is to sort of just cope. So I've just got a little bit of a background. So my husband was in a car accident in 1980, and his chest hit the steering wheel. So in 1985, he was having an X-ray for a job, and they said, "You've got an aneurysm on your descending aorta." So, if you're not familiar with that is, it is about the size of like a garden hose. It supplies all the blood to your lower body, part of your body. It's very important. You can't live without one. So they put a Dacron graft on that. So that was the technology then. It was death or graft. So he chose the graft, of course. And so Dacron was what they used then. And so over the years, so that was 1985. So my husband is 68 now, so he was 23. And so over the years, he would have a few little blips where he would have fevers. And so because it's Dacron, your body likes to have everything kind of slippery. So because you don't want a host for bacteria. So what happened in 2018, that graft became infected as it filled up with all the bacteria that was just kind of floating around his body, and it found a host to build. So he called me and he said, "I'm sick." And so we took him to the hospital. He was 39, temperature was kind of delirious. Just so happened at the hospital, the guy said, "I think he's got an infection. I'm going to give him the strongest antibiotic I can give him." And we're air vacuuming him to Vancouver. So anyways, gets to Vancouver. Yeah, it's all infected. They need to take out some femoral veins and create a new piece that they have to take out. It's not like your aorta is huge. You need to replace it with, so they graft femoral veins from his legs. And so inside your body, your aorta and your esophagus are like friends. They're right next to each other. So the infection in one infected another. And so they couldn't risk it. So they had to take a piece of his esophagus out. So he had an esophagectomy as well as an aortic replacement. So August 22nd, 2018, into surgery, 6 in the morning, 16 hours later. And so I ran down the hallway and he was coming out and he was like the size of a balloon because they have to give you so much stuff to keep you alive. And so, anyways, the nurse said, "He's great. He's going to be great." So he didn't, that pictures, it was like the day after he came out. Anyway, so he recovers. They take the feeding tube out, and like 4 or 5 days later, or maybe 3 days, I can't remember. He's in his room, and they have to put in a feeding tube into his lower intestine because he just has what's called a stoma. So it's just an opening for saliva to come out because he has no connection to his stomach. That's all healing. So the feeding tube is into his stomach. So the feeding tube is kind of like about that thickness. So it's tiny. And so on the tray was this bag of brown stuff. And I said to the nurse, "What's that?" And she goes, "Oh, that's the food he's going to eat." And I said, "No, no, no. What is it?" And she goes, "Oh, it's all the nutrition he needs." I said, "No, you need to tell me what it is." I said, I've just learned about what's healthy. I've learned about what you need to put in your body to heal. He's had a 16-hour surgery. If that's the best you can give him, I'm going to find something better. So I was in St. Paul's, or not St. Paul's, at BGH. I walked down to Whole Foods. I looked on the menu for a smoothie, and I thought, okay, pea protein. I know that that's good. And I know that avocado is good and almond butter is good. And so that's how it started. Now I had to use some of their product a little bit, but um, because he was on like super strong meds, and he was very loaded. He was like out of his head. So I was his caregiver. So he also had to have a really strong antibiotic a pick, not a pick line, in a line. So when we got back to Kamloops, what we did was on Mondays we had blood work. Wednesday, infectious disease doctor, and he checked all his blood work. And then Wednesday afternoon was wound clinic because he had 400 staples. And most of them were taken out. Just a few that were kind of, if you can believe, too hooked in there. And I had the thing, I couldn't take them out. We had to get them done by a pro. But he he was a, he was it was hard. He was very ill, and I had to advocate for him. So when we got to when we had his blood work done, so this is probably 3 weeks after his surgery, the infectious disease doctor were in his office, and he goes, "Wow, you're doing pretty good. Whatever you're doing, it looks great." And so what I was doing was using Pure Nourish, Giving Greens, the protein, but the powder cocoa, what's it called? I can't think of it right now. Power Boost. Yeah, sorry. And then I was opening up the capsules. So in 2018, we didn't have all of the supplements, and some of them were a little harder to open. So I just used the M&V, I use CalMag, and I used the Vanillin. And I would put that in, and then I would also put in almond butter. I put in a whole avocado because we need something that needs to purify to go through this, because if anything gets clogged, it's really hard to get it unclogged. So every week, and then we go to the wound clinic, and the guy would say, "Wow, that looks amazing. Everything looks good. Just keep doing what you're doing." So I did have a visit from a dietitian who came to the house because it's a follow-up. You're seeing a doctor, an infectious disease doctor. So she brought a bunch of bags of her product, and I said, I've been making his tube feeding. It's working great. And she goes, "But do you know what it is?" And I said, "Do you know what yours is?" "I know what it is. It's got prebiotics, probiotics, it's got stable protein, and I add things that are, I would say, quality food." And you know what the other thing? I ate what he ate. They said there's a link between someone getting well when you eat together. So he would have a smoothie, he'd have his feeding tube, I'd have a smoothie. We ate the same. And so she was concerned that, I wasn't following the protocol. So I got some of her product, and then I asked her, "Could you give me a list of what's in the product that they give at the hospital?" Now, I had to realize that the hospital has to take care of everyone. They can't have a special kitchen where someone's just making all the best stuff. So the product comes from Nestle, and I'm sure it's good for some people. It has 68 ingredients. The first one is corn syrup. So when someone is being tube fed, they need high calories, high fat, and in a small volume. The only way to do that is up the bad stuff. So it's got soybean oil, fructose, all of that. So my husband, once in a while, he had to use it. He said he could feel it go through his stomach. When he had when I made him a smoothies, he didn't feel any of that. So he also had the 6 weeks he had to have the central line with the antibiotics. Never had an issue. Did not have a cold. Did not have a cough. the only time we had to go to emergency is when he pulled his tube out, because you don't have food if he pulls that baby out. So had to have that reinserted. It's just kind of like a balloon, and it's put in and then inflated. So it wasn't a huge deal, but it was gross. Just saying. So 6 weeks in, I had this real awakening. Oh my gosh, neither one of us have been sick. And he's recovering. He's been given the best cellular nutrition to get him to the next stage where he's feeling well. And, about 6 weeks after we got back, he rode his bike. Like, he's a big cyclist. He's a skier. He's a hiker. He's all those things. And, he was feeling so great. And then I would also give Elite, and Elite made him feel kind of energetic. And it was just going into his lower intestine. It was so interesting. So, I could honestly tell you that doctors are amazing, nurses are amazing. All the people that practice what they do are amazing. They just didn't know about this. They didn't know that this was a better choice. And I feel grateful. I didn't know either. And so I went through the whole process. I didn't get sick. And sometimes I had to, every 6 hours, we had to give them the antibiotics. So we had to wake up in the night. We had to prop up the line, because the central line, it was like gravity fed. We didn't have a pump for that. So we had to sit up in bed. And so I realized that I was probably pretty fatigued, worried, what could happen. I didn't know. We had no trips to emergency other than when he pulled his tube out. We didn't have any times when I felt that, oh my gosh, he's too sick. We went to events, we visited people, and no one knew that he had a stoma. No one knew that he was at a feeding tube. So to me, that was a testament to the fortunate. I was fortunate that I was at the right place at the right time to find these products, and they benefited my husband greatly.
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Nancy.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It's every time I hear that, I just think my mind goes to the people who don't know about our products, and that's why we need to share, right? Is that it can help so much. Like, it can make such a difference.
Yeah. Well, even if you know someone, if you go to an old folks home, unfortunately, a little thing of Boost is inexpensive. And I get that. It's just not healthy. It doesn't. Yeah. So that picture, he was out of surgery, and you know what? He is so good today. He's the bike ride. He rides his bike. He was riding just that bike, like just today, and he goes 40K, and it's not like an e-bike. It's a pedal bike, and he's 60.
It's an old-fashioned bike now.
He's got his own manpower. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you only get one life.
Yeah. I see he likes MOA as well.
He loves MOA, and his favorite thing now is Elite and the greens. That's what he eats, or that's what he drinks every time he comes back from biking. So
Awesome.
I'm grateful.
I just think of all the people that recover from these things, and their corn. We know the corn and all that stuff you were mentioning is in those healthy products that they give. And if you look at our, along with our drops and our program, we have a food list, approved food list, and those items are definitely not on the list.
Yeah.
Because we know they cause inflammation. We know they do not help us in any which way, shape, or form, right? So we ask people to stop using those and focus on the good stuff, which is what you did for your husband when he was recovering. Yeah. So
and my thing that I asked the nurse, and I remember it clearly, is that the best thing you give someone after they're recovering from something so serious? So imagine cancer patients that have esophagectomies and throat cancer. The next best thing is because they a lot of times have the tube down their nose because their throats have been, you know, had some surgery. So anyways, it was an eye opener for me, and I try to encourage people, just try something else. Even if try something a little pure. Do 3 ingredients in something. It'll work.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing with us. All right. We're going to go through a few more products and then we will get to some lifestyle and some other fun stuff. But here you can see we've got our detox, which is amazing. It's a very gentle detox. You're not running to the bathroom all the time, and it'll actually help bring out heavy metals as well. So it's amazing. Our collagen product is Noni plus collagen there. Our probiotic is one of the best on the market. It actually has a time release. So instead of opening in your stomach where the stomach acids can often kill a lot of the good bacteria before they get to where they need to be, this one will actually pass through the stomach and opens up towards the small intestine so that the more of the probiotics can get to where they need to be, which is pretty unique. And again, another product created by us, by Dr. Pena. I was trying to remember his name. Dr. Pena helped create that when he came into the company. So, and Elite, Nancy talked a little bit about Elite, and it is one of my favorite products as well. It comes in just a little sachet like this that you can throw in your purse and take with you wherever. Mix it with 16 ounces of water and drink it down. And it really just, it's got 8 adaptogens that'll go into your body and kind of figure out what you need. You don't always get to pick what it works on first, but you will feel better, whether it's stress or sleep or just, you know, aches and pains, that sort of thing. It just helps with so many different things. I think everybody should be on Elite, right, Russell? That's a favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Everyone has an elite story. And if they don't, they should have one right away.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then this is a pretty cool product as well. We're not going to go deep on this one, but yeah, basically it communicates to your blood cells, to your cells, and you can see the before picture. We got a before picture of blood. That's pretty cool, eh? So the blood, you can see it looks like chains, they're kind of together, but we want really our blood to be like the second picture, a little more separated, right? And that's important because of what blood does. So just very quickly, blood carries nutrition and oxygen throughout your entire body, right? And it uses its surface area to do that. So, but if it's touching another blood cell, it uses less surface area so therefore it cannot carry as much oxygen nutrition throughout your body. And if there's a whole bunch of them stuck together, they can't get down to all the nooks and crannies, right? Because they're all grouped together. You need to be individual, then you can get into everywhere that we need to get our oxygen to. So that's what these two devices basically do, is they tell the blood to be kind of stand on their own and get to work, carry more oxygen, carry more nutrition. And when that happens, a lot of good things can happen in your body.
That's right. And we have another product here, and this is how big that bottle is if you want to like a actual visual of how big it is. But you can see here, this is a breathable skin mask. So you actually roll it on. It's got a roller. See if you can see it here. There you go. It's got a roller, so you roll it on and it helps to heal the skin, and it basically locks in the skin's own moisture. So air can't get in, but it can get out, right? So it locks in that moisture. And you can see here for this young man here, I'm sure he's much happier in the second picture. I know I wish I had this when I was his age, because I had acne right up till I was 48. And then I started using this, and now I don't have it anymore. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty
So
happy about
air
that.
air can get in. Air can get in.
Oh, air can get in. Right.
Water can't. Water. So it traps your own water, your own moisture.
That,
We
yes.
lose a lot while we sleep, believe it or not. So yeah.
Yes.
So it's pretty magical how that works. It's this science. Again, it's not too crazy, but
Mhm.
we're creating an environment that your body can now heal itself.
Yes, and you can see the scar at the bottom. You can't even tell anymore that there's a scar there. So it's very powerful. And Next week, we're going to do a longer segment on this. So if you want to learn more about this, definitely come next week and hear another testimonial and a little bit of why it works and how it works. So there's a teaser for you if you want to tune in next week at the same time. These are some of our favorites too, right, Russell?
Yeah, oh, definitely. So if you're not a fan of taking any pills or whatever, you want to take some liquid nutrition, we have lots of varieties here. So noni comes from Tahiti. It's comes from the plant from a tree. It's called noni fruit. So we make that in Tahiti, and it ships all around the world. We're in 55 different countries, and it goes everywhere. And it's been around for probably about 35 years. So just a great. You can read through everything it does. It's just a fantastic drink. Everyone should be trying this. Moa is our 36 super fruits, super mushrooms blend. And again, it has we put all that goodness together, and you take all the different things that all those has the ingredients can do, the different things it can do. It can help with your cognitive improvement. With all the mushrooms are amazing, and can help with helping with metabolism. It helps with inflammation and stuff like that as well. So it's just a great. I have that every day. I love it. And then we have our one from the Cook around. I think it's the Cook Islands. Comes from a seaweed harvested, and we inside the seaweed there's a kind of like a vein, and we pull the liquid out of that, and the magical thing in that is called fucoidin. So you can look that up, but fucoidin has been tested in on different things, like at probably over 3,000 clinical studies just on fucoidin, not from PartnerCo, just from scientists around the world testing the goodness of it. And so we have it in our original 5X, and we have it in multiple other products as well. Fucoidin, it's amazing. Works from a cellular level. All these are kind of works from a cellular standpoint, from a liquid, and all different. They're all different. They all taste different. So you'll find what you love.
That's right. There's they all do have different tastes, and noni is actually another product that's in some of our other products like Renew, and there's actually some in Moa as well. But and that's just because noni is just such an amazing product.
The cool thing about noni is that you can put it with you can change the slides if you want to.
Oh, sure.
You can put it with other products, and it makes that better. Like there's a clinical study that even with our optimals and the vitamins, you have noni with those. It's 1 + 1 is 2 normally, but with noni it adds a multiplier, right? So it's synergistic impact. So that's the power that noni can like add in a really good hockey player to your team, and then your team just now you're a Stanley Cup contender, right? So that's how noni can be so impressive, and that's why we put it in so many other products, because it basically boosts those other ingredients as well. So again, if you just don't want the liquid and you want to have it more of a capsule type of form, so many, again, cellular support, energy, heart, brain, sleep, bone, muscle support, like just amazing. Dr. Strand puts all his patients on the optimals and vitamins right off the bat, right before, like, how do you do here? Here's Batman and Robin. Do that for a while, see how you do, and most people's ailments start to disappear. And then he'll go deeper and get and dive into more stuff. But then if he has to, eventually he'll do the old pharmaceutical doctor stuff if he needs to, right? But again, that's what he does. That he's a physician, works. He's a live physician, has patients every day, does his thing, and this is what he does, right? So you put
Yeah,
some.
the other really cool thing about this is we add noni to different products to enhance it, but even the products we have, we blend they're blended together so that the ingredients enhance each other. So we have these products as capsules, and there's a couple more on the next slide, but we don't have like when you walk into Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart or wherever, and there's just like a wall of them, and it's like each individual ingredient, right, is a different bottle. These are blended together in a way that we could never do on our own. It's blended in the right proportions and meant to work precisely.
Yes. Yeah. We have natural paths that come on. Oh, I was trying to do that. This is
Yeah.
just way better. So
There's these are the other couple capsule type ones that we have. Rejuvenex, there is like our energy pill, but there's no jitters. You don't get a really big energy and then a big crash. It's a very even energy, and it also is very not mind opening, but you get a lot of mental alertness. Like I'm able to focus a lot better if I have that. I like to take it before I go on like a long drive or something, because then I know I'm going to stay awake for sure. And it's just full of great natural products, different superfruits, and that sort of thing that are going to help give you that energy. And then Vinali is one of those, it's like a super vitamin C is what I kind of call it, but it's helps with collagen production, helps with skin, hair, and nails. It helps with your heart, eyes, and lungs and your skin. There's some people that use it for the immune boosting, right? Like, so I'll use this, I'll take extra of this before I go to on an airplane or something where I know there's going to be lots of germs so I don't get sick. But it's also helped me with my allergies. So it's really helps with the lungs and that sort of thing. So my allergies got much better. And there's a lot of people too, like we saw Brenda earlier who had lost 100 pounds in 6.5 months. This helps with the collagen production in the body. So she actually doesn't have a lot of extra skin hanging out from losing weight that quickly. It can actually help tighten the skin a bit. So multiple things that it does, like many of our products, and definitely giving you the most bang for your buck. So, Russell, what about lifestyle? I think you're in one of these pictures here, aren't you?
yeah. So as we transition, we focused heavily on our wellness, but Partner Co talks of we want to have fun as well, and I think you can look at these photos and you can tell everyone's having fun. We love to get together, so everyone if you can see if you're watching the recording, the people that you see on the we hang out. We're going to hang out in Calgary here pretty soon, so we love to hang out with each other, and then when we do stuff and we help people, we also kind of earn some points. We earn like air mile points kind of thing, and we get to travel. So who put a one in the chat if you love to travel? Most people do. Now when you don't feel that good, you don't feel like traveling, right? I remember Kim Gray for years. She never left her state. I got to meet her on a trip in the bottom left hand corner. You'll see me down there on the beach there with my hands raised up, and I got to meet Kim for the first time. She earned this trip to Mexico. It was the first time ever she was out of her state. Forget just in the States traveling. She went to a different country for her very first trip. Why? Because she felt better, because she was taking our products, using our products, and she got to the point where she could fly. Some people aren't allowed to fly, right? So anyways, so
Yeah.
it's important. We get healthy, and then we want to start to have fun, right? And then you start to have fun, it costs some money. You need to start making some money too, right? So
That's
we're going to
right.
talk about that. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, but we do travel. We do travel quite a bit and we get together at different events. So we have many different events that are put on across North America and across the world. So PXP is our main stage one that we have 4 of those each year in different parts of the world. Our Connect one is kind of more of a regional one. So that's the one that we're going to have in Calgary here at the end of May. And discoveries are a little bit smaller. They're around in different areas, and it's just a kind of get to know us party, right? So they're all fun though. They all are amazing to attend. And if you ever get the chance to, definitely go out and see one.
So if you're in Calgary or you're in Alberta, you're anywhere, if you're an 8 hour drive from Calgary, coming up at the end of May, you need to talk to the person who shared this with you, and you need to come, and because we'll have a kind of like what we just did tonight, but in person. You can come and learn and meet these people, meet the owners of the company, and meet Dr. Strand, and meet the people that helping make these products, right? And and you need to just see, and then you hear some testimonials live, right, in person. So it's a pretty powerful event. If you're within, like I say, a day's drive, you should get there.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and then we are founders. Whenever you're looking at a company, whether it's for products or to maybe join the business, join and be a partner, you want to know who's running the ship, right? And these two are amazing. They have come in and just transformed the business. They've hired the best of the best. We just, Russell was mentioning earlier that we just hired a new chief, I think it's a chief science officer or chief product officer, who's got just accolades and accolades, and it's going to be amazing. He's going to be in charge of new products and that sort of thing. We get to meet him in Calgary. So these two have really gotten together, and they really are like the perfect match. John, he was a brand partner like us, and he sold Noni for what, 25, 30 years, and made his fortune. Darren did the same thing on Wall Street, and then he had a tuna company that he ended up selling. And so they've made their fortune, and they love helping people. And John is like the biggest Noni drinker. I'm sure he goes through a bottle a day. It doesn't look like he ages most of the time. So, but they just want to make sure that they have a generational company that can be passed on, that we know is going to be here for 100 years, and they are running the company in a way that it will be. And we have the values that they've brought in. You can see them here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but true partnership is a big one that's important, right? That's where we have brand partners who are on those wellness committees and on the athletes council and a partners council and those type of things, so that they can hear our voice and what we need in the field and what we can do. The other piece of that too is that every dollar that comes in, 50 to 51% of that gets paid out in the comp plan. So they're true partnership even on that side. And for me, as an accountant, that was a big important thing for me. So, just seeing this and actually watching them live it is definitely something that I look for in a company. You can see that we've got some different stats here. So we've been voted #1 comp plan. We've got 8 different ways to get paid. We've been voted that 3 times in a row. And we do have some patents on our comp plan so that it is very unique to us. We have 1 million plus bottles sold of this drops. We're in over 50 countries and over 172 million bottles of Noni sold across the world. We've been winning awards left, right, and center for leadership, for products, for innovation, for all different things. And we just keep going. We've got an amazing team, not just in corporate, but on the ground here with us. And I don't know, Russell, do you want to maybe do business in any of these countries?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to start. You have a friend or a family or whatever, and you have a good testimonial, you share, you have a good experience, and then before you know it, you tell your friend in Spain, and they, it's not hard to have an international business very very quickly just by sharing. I have my neighbor shared with her sister in England, so now I have a customer in England, right? So it doesn't take much to, and so not all the products are in every country, but I think mostly it's every country I believe has Noni, but a lot of them have a lot. So it's pretty cool. And we're in China, like so it's that's not an easy thing to do for a company, but we've done it. So and growing, so pretty
That's
cool,
right.
pretty cool. Global
Yeah,
op.
and these are the 8 different ways that we get paid. We're not going to go into all of those. If you are interested, though, make sure you get back to the person who invited you and ask them, and they can let you know how this amazing system works. And if you are interested in becoming one of our partners and living that lifestyle and having some business and some wellness to go with it, and getting all 3 of those pillars in your life, you can become a member with Partner Co for a one-time fee of $37.95 in Canada, and US is $29.95, and that's one time for life. Like, you don't have to pay it every year like Costco or anything like that. But with that, you get everything you need to start a business. You get a website, you get a back office that holds all your reports, you have an app, all of these different things, and you can easily enroll. And then we just want to live healthy, make money, and see the world, right? That's the goal. So congratulations. You may be one of these options now. You've made it to the end. You've got lots of information. Hopefully, like Russell mentioned a couple times, to take some notes, you've done that. And if you are option one, which is you want to be a customer, you want to try a product or two, that's great. We love our customers. Let us know if you are option one. So if you're option two, maybe you want a bit better price, so you can get a subscription and get a percentage off, or maybe get that membership. Option three, you want to make some fun money. So you're saving up for, in Edmonton here, playoff tickets because they're so expensive. Or, you're wanting to go on a trip, or you take family to Disneyland, or buy a car, whatever it is. You can do that in the bits and pieces of your time, of your day, like the little bits of time in your day. We can show you how to do that very easily. And then option four, of course, is let's play big. And that's where you want to go, and you want to go on all the trips, and you want to make money, and you want to travel and see the world, or whatever it is for you that you want to do. So let us know which option you are, but congratulations, we've made it to the end. And I just want to give Nancy another big thank you for sharing with us her story, which is very emotional and definitely very powerful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nancy. Greatly appreciate it. And one more reminder before we stop the recording, teaser for next Tuesday. You saw us talk a little bit about sincerity, and we were going to have our guests, Marlene and TL, are going to come, and they're going to share next week. Again, we're going to expand it a little bit, so a little longer. In that, we won't talk about all their other products as much, but we're going to share a little bit deep dive and how powerful that product is. It's truly a game-changing product, and everyone, you'll learn why everyone should have that. I used it as a first aid product. That's why I use it for the most. It's amazing. So, anyways, I won't share anymore. So, thank you so much, Cindy, Nancy. Appreciate you guys so much. Love, 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 and thank you for everyone coming in your time. It's 8 o'clock. We wrapped it up in an hour. Take care, everyone.
All right.